Welcome to Short Film Showcase. My name is Ella Quesada and Mike Messier is not with us today, so I will be your host for the day. For those interested in having their work showcased in our show, please email Bryan Casey at bryancaseyfilms@gmail.com. Today joining us, we have our friend Mark Carter, best known for the film Wrestling with Sanity and Cost of Living. Hello, Mark. How are you?
Hi, fine. How are you doing?
So tell us a little bit about the projects that you're in.
Well, right now, I'll tell you what I've been in lately. I was in Bryan Casey's Alone. I was in this web series called In the Bedroom, where I played the Sandman. And I was in Chris Esper's Please Punish Me. I was a hunchback in that.
So you've been keeping busy.
Been keeping busy, yeah. Well, a little bit of a hiatus right now, but
it's okay. The season's kind of starting up, so
yeah.
It's going to start moving. So tell me a little bit. When did you first get interested in acting?
When I was in the 4th grade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you were one of those extroverted kids, like you were all over the place.
You could say that. Sure. I played a goat.
And what do you get out of it that you enjoy so much?
Well, that's a good question. I guess I just like to do it. It's a form of self-expression. Becoming somebody else for a little while. It's a nice escape. You know?
And what is your genre that you prefer? Do you like comedy? Do you like horror? What is it that you enjoy doing the most?
Well, I usually wind up in comedy or horror.
Okay.
I don't know that I have a preference. I'd have to say there's no preference necessary with me.
So as long as you get work, you're down for anything? Down to explore?
Yeah.
Okay. What about your technique? Do you follow any technique, or have you studied with somebody specifically?
I can't say that I've studied specifically with anyone. I went to Rhode Island College and CCRI, so I had some excellent teachers there. I guess everybody goes along with the Stanislavski method. But I don't know that I have any particular method that I would apply to anything, because they're all characters are so different.
Yeah. Okay. What about? Can you tell me a little bit about the life of an actor? What it is to live as an actor these days, and specifically in the New England area?
Yeah. Well, usually you have to have another job to support it. In time, I'd like to just be totally enveloped by the acting, writing, singing process. Right now I'm working in a human service agency, and so you have to kind of more or less support it with that means.
So you think like you would have to have a job that kind of like gives you the flexibility to do the acting jobs?
Yes, and it's also good to have a job that is flexible. Not all jobs are flexible. Not all jobs understand it.
So you have a supportive team.
That's right. Yeah.
Where they get it. Do you work with other actors?
Yeah. Most of the time I do. I don't know that I've ever done a one-man show. I did do a one-man show in October of 2012. It was all about Vlad the Impaler. That's the only time I've ever done anything like that.
That's interesting. What about what keeps you motivated? Because right now you say that it's kind of slow. What keeps you motivated when it's like so frustrating when you're not getting exactly what you want in the business?
Motivation. Well, I know a lot of people, and a lot of people have called and asked me if I'd like to be part of their project. So I don't know that there's any definite time span of waiting. Sometimes it's either feast or famine.
So it's good to have a networking group of people?
Yes, it is.
Do you go to events where you can meet other actors and
I
producers?
go to any event that I can, yeah.
Okay, great. What about, do you look for in a specific type of role, or do you feel more comfortable playing the same type of characters?
I like difference. Like I like to do different things. I'm usually called upon to be some kind of a monstrosity or a zombie or some wacky dude, you know what I mean?
So you consider that your type?
I guess. I mean, I think I don't know. It's hard for me to put that into words. I don't know that no actor wants to be typecast, So I also like doing the nice, sane people,
Yeah.
I can... try my best to give the directors whatever they want.
How much of yourself do you put in a role? Do you use like life experiences to
Yes.
portray a character?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Great book called Respect for Acting that tells you all about that by Uta Hagen. You know, it goes into endowment, it goes into, well, you'd have to read the book, but it's a really, really good book for actors. It's like the Bible for actors these days.
Oh, good. Good to know. So some of our actors' friends can look into that.
That's right.
What about when you choose to audition for a film? Do you look at the roles first, the director, if you want to work with somebody specifically, or do you look for a good script in general?
Well, the way it's been lately, I've been asked if I would do a specific role. I guess the better way to answer that would be one specific time when I was working with Daniel Lee White's Cost of Living. I said, you know, I don't care about big roles, I don't care about supporting roles, I don't care about lines, I don't anything. Just make me a zombie. I've always wanted to be a zombie. Just please let me do that. So he said, okay, well, we're going to have you read for a human being first, and then you can do a zombie, because everybody in the audition process had, you know, they all had to be a human being and a zombie. You know, so I read for this part that was actually played by Brandon Aponte. He did a really great job with it. I was, and then they said, okay, well now go ahead and give us your zombie. And I was like, great. So I gave him this. I gave him this zombie. I gave him the scariest zombie that I could make. You know, that I could give them. And Sarah Nicklin said, yeah, I was scared.
So that's one of the ones that you always wanted to do, a zombie?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've always wanted to do it.
How do you feel about zombie movies in general? Do you have like any like favorites that you have?
Zombie favorites. I don't know that I have any zombie favorites, but you know what? I mean, I guess I'd have to go back to the beginning with the 1960s. You know, the initial Night of the Living Dead. Really good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's quite a social commentary if you really dissect it.
So you got that one on your bucket list, the zombie one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, I'd do it again, but you know, the opportunity's not really presenting itself right now.
And what about, how do you feel about small roles? Some people say that there's no small roles.
Yeah, and they're right. There isn't. I mean, some of the most important roles are the ones that you don't that you see from maybe 5 minutes. You know, like The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. There's this guy named Bill Carson. Okay, now the two main characters played by Eli Wallach and Clint Eastwood are looking for Bill Carson. You don't see him until almost halfway into the film, and it's a long film. You know, they need information from him to find out where I think the treasure is.
So it's one of the key characters.
Exactly. Their focus is Bill Carson. So Bill Carson, despite the fact that you only see him for 5 minutes, is probably the biggest role in the show.
Yeah.
You know, and then they finally find him, and they get the information, and then Bill Carson dies.
Yeah. Well, you gave a spoiler for those who haven't seen it.
Oh, sorry, folks. I'm really sorry.
Do you aspire to go beyond acting into maybe trying to direct or producing?
No, I don't have those bugs. You know, I don't have the, I don't know. I mean, directing, if I had to, I could probably do it. But I leave the directing to the directors. They're the pros. You know, producing. I guess as far as theatrical, you know, productions, yeah, I have produced something, you know, very few things in the past, but I don't know that I know the ins and outs of producing a film.
And for any resources in general, do you recommend anywhere specifically where actors can go try to find audition notices or work?
I get Explore Talent on the internet. I mean, you can find a lot out on the internet. There's also Backstage that you can find, a magazine, a newsprint magazine called Backstage that you'd be able to, they tell you all kinds of things. You find that at Barnes & Noble.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
What about casting agencies that people should sign up for?
Again, you'd find those at Backstage. They're really good. They list everything. I mean, they list rehearsal spaces. They list what you know, plays are going on. They list auditions. You know, and
so for you, that would be the #1 resource.
yeah, as far as theater goes, and there has to be, you know, I'm kind of devoid of knowledge as far as if there's a newsprint magazine as far as film goes, but I at least know that.
Okay, great. Well, Mark, thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice meeting you.
Best of luck this coming up 2014.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Today we're going to show you the web series Clean Living by Endless Spectrum Studios, episodes 1, 2, and 3. Hope you enjoy it.
I can't believe anything you say, 'cause the days go by and it seems so strange. Behind the lies that sound very clear, the truth is far when you are here. And talk about discovery and the truth and all it meant to me. Oh, I will show you the way. I believe in you.
Hey. Hey, thanks for getting the room. You know, I had a couple of things I had to do before I got here.
It took you long enough, but whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know how it is? I have to be careful. You want a couple of bucks for the room?
Nah, it's fine. It's not like I ain't used to paying for hotel rooms or nothing.
Yeah, well, next time I'm paying, all right?
Yeah, I heard that before.
Hey, because you got orange chicken you like over from that Thai place at 5th and Henshaw.
What? You're talking about food? Now? Only got the room for 3 hours.
All right, so we don't have to eat it now. We can eat it later, either here or in the car.
Oh, yeah, after it's good and cold. What the hell's the matter with you?
Me? Me? Now, what's the matter with you? You've been acting like a little bitch since I walked through that door. Is this because I was late?
Hey, let's just drop it and get to it. Okay?
Fine.
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 You know, you could have called.
What?
Last night, when you knew you weren't going to make it for dinner, you could have called.
Oh, so this is what it's all about. This is about last night.
Hey, my mother made a special meal and everything. We was expecting you, and you didn't have the decency to call and tell us that you weren't going to be there.
Do you know how hard this is for me? Huh? I'm married, for God's sakes. It's bad enough that I gotta make excuses to come and meet you here, but now I have to make excuses to go and get heartburn from your mother's meat sauce?
Hey, I'll have you know my mother's a fantastic cook. She went through a lot of preparation to make this meal for you. And then you don't even bother to show up. You know, she doesn't really like you.
What?
I said she doesn't really like you, okay?
What are you talking about? I met the lady like twice. She doesn't even know me.
Yeah, well, if you showed up for dinner a couple of times.
What did you say?
Nothing. To tell you the truth, she thinks you're a sinner.
Me. I'm a sinner. She knows what we do together, and I'm the sinner.
No, not because of this. Because you're not Catholic.
Well, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Hey, she's old school, man. What can I tell you?
But it's not like I don't go to church or anything. I go every week, sometimes twice.
Yeah, but it ain't the same thing. To her, being Lutheran is like being a Republican.
You know, and what's your mom got to do with this anyway? Does what she think gonna affect us, huh?
Let's just drop it.
Well, what? You gonna stop being my friend just because your mommy don't like me? Huh?
Well, don't be stupid, all right? This works. I mean, we got a pretty good thing going here, right?
All right. Look, you know, it's been a long week. We're both probably at the end of our ropes. Let's just do what we came here to do, all right? We'll get past this.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. Hey, you got any fresh blades? This thing's starting to get awfully dull.
Yeah, in a bag by the door. Next time you find your own damn blades.
Well, you want a couple of bucks for the blades?
Nah, it's not like I ain't used to buying blades enough. Hey, give me a hand with this, will you?
show you the way. I believe in you.
So, the wife starts in on me again about getting a dog. It's the same old story. She wants one of them little frou-frou dogs. You know, one that you can put in your lap and, you know, you buy outfits for. And every once in a while, you take it to the groomers every week or so. I'm sure that's what she'd like to do. But me, you know, I want a big dog. I want something that to protect the kids and protect the house. You know, just having a good dog brings you peace of mind, you know?
I don't really care for dogs.
What?
I don't really care for dogs.
That's because you've never really had a good dog. You know, I'm talking about a dog that's well trained and stuff, you know, like Lassie. You ever seen Lassie?
Nah.
What?
What? I ain't never seen Lassie.
You know, they had the TV show. It was all black and white then, and then they had the movies, you know. Lassie.
I never saw Lassie.
You are how old? And you're telling me you've never seen Lassie? You never saw Lassie.
Saw Benji once.
I ain't talking about Benji. They got Benji at the pound, that frickin' man. I ain't talking about Lassie. Woof woof. What's that, girl? Woof woof. What is it? Woof woof. Timmy's down the goddamn well. Lassie.
I get what it is, I just had never seen an episode. I don't care for dogs.
Ugh.
You almost done there?
Almost. Don't rush me.
So what did you decide about the dog?
I'm gonna talk about it later. Lassie!
I can't believe anything you say, 'cause the days go by and it seems so strange. Behind the lies that sound very clear, the truth is far when you are here. And talk about discovery and the truth and all it meant to me. Oh, I will show you the way. I believe in you.
Let's go, honey.
Hey, thanks for driving.
Not a problem. Hey, what'd they say to you down at the garage when you dropped your car off?
They got the parts on back order. It's going to be a couple of weeks.
Well, why didn't you just take it to my guy down on 7th Avenue?
And entrust my American-made car to a foreign mechanic? I don't think so, Bobby.
Wait, so what? You'd rather wait for a couple of weeks and deal with a rental car? What did they stick you with anyway?
Look at this. I asked for something American.
Huh?
All I got left is a canary yellow town and country minivan. Can you imagine me driving around like some kind of goddamn soccer mom?
So what'd you do?
I don't want to drive around in no rice burner, so what could I do? I took it.
Hey, you know, I've been in those town and countries. Nice piece of machinery.
Yeah, but how am I going to go to the club, pick up a chick, and bring her back home to my place in a yellow canary minivan?
Guy, you live with your mom. I don't think the minivan is your biggest problem in this scenario.
Hey, leave my mother out of this. This is far enough. Take the bag off. Huh? Who's this?
It's the guy. The Mark.
This ain't the guy.
Hey, give me the picture.
This ain't the guy.
Oh, would you give me that?
It's the wrong goddamn guy. Now what do we do?
We? What's this we? You were the one to pick him up. How did you screw this up?
Let's forget about that. What do we do now?
What can we do? He's seeing our faces. He knows who we are. We gotta whack him.
He looks like a good guy. I think we can trust him not to say anything. Right?
I won't say a word to anyone. I swear.
See?
I don't know, man.
I say we let him go.
Oh, man.
Please. I got a wife. A new baby.
Oh, I don't think so.
All right. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Now get out of here before we change our mind.
Thank you.
It never gets old to you, does it? Come on. Why do you get off on giving these guys false hope? You know full well that's the guy we hired to rub out.
Hey, I like the look of hope in the eyes of someone whose life I hold in my hand. It's a kick.
Oh my God! You shot me in the ear! Damn! That really stinks!
You see what you did? There goes your new hope drama. Maybe after this, we should take your new minivan over to the shooting range and get in some practice.
Hello? Can you hear me? You shot me in the ear! There's blood everywhere!
Come on.
Oh my God! You shot me in the other ear now! How am I supposed to wear glasses? God damn it, that's just mean!
Hey, maybe you should call your mom and tell her you're gonna be late for dinner. We have a lot of work to do at the ranch.
Ow! You shot me behind my knee! Who shoots a person behind the knee? Hello? Are you still there? Hello?
I can't believe anything you say, 'cause the days go by and it seems so strange. Behind the lies it sound very clear. The truth is far when you are here. And talk about discovery and the truth and all it meant to me. Oh, oh, I will show you the way. I believe in you.
That was Clean Living by Endless Spectrum Studios. This is an ongoing project that we're going to keep showing in our show. Coming up, we have our friend Roman Vangeli, producer, director, and actor. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing today?
Good. So tell me a little bit about this project that you are doing it all for, right?
Right.
15 minutes?
15 minutes of fame redemption.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
It's a thriller. It's based on true events. It's probably like a very graphic movie, kind of like a Rob Zombie film, that type of like graphicness. It basically, it's two brothers who one's basically becomes famous, makes it in Hollywood. The other brother who's living in the shadow. The other brother believes that he's sold his soul to the devil for fame. While this brother's trying to prove that, he becomes a monster himself. Not an actual monster, but basically he becomes crazy and really becomes this person he's trying to show that his brother is. It's a very intense film. We just signed 20 more into the film. He was the Michael Myers from the Halloween movies.
Okay.
So it's a long road making this film right now.
Who else is involved in the project?
My partner, Mickey Montez. We have Andrew Pimentel, Ashley Tremente, Adam LaVey, Chuck Chase. Those are the main characters, the main cast of the film.
Now, does this have a release date yet?
Originally it was going to be October, around Halloween, but we're pushing back to 2015, around February, a year from now.
Okay, is this because you're extending the film, or?
We're just taking it a little bit slower as far as processing, making it. We had to rewrite the script a couple times, and we start filming again on March 10th in Rhode Island, and then in April and May we film in Boston.
Okay, and is this going to be like a full-length film or short?
Correct.
Okay, full length.
Full length.
Okay, and are you going to be shooting in the Massachusetts area?
Yes, in Boston.
Okay. Oh, great. In the summer?
In June, I'd say June, April, and May, those months.
Great, nice weather, right?
Yeah.
Nobody likes shooting in the winter. Great. So, can you tell me a little bit more about yourself? How did you get into filmmaking?
I went to school for film in New York, the New York Film Academy, back in 2010. That was just basically to learn more about producing. What I actually do is I normally produce fashion shows and events. I've been doing that for about 3 years in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. As far as the film, back in 2011, I wanted to release like a reality show. So I did the casting call at the Warwick Mall. It was a reality show based on models and singers trying to make it in the industry. That project we worked on for about 2 years, but I wasn't really happy with it, but it led into the direction of making this movie. So when I said it was based on like true events, it basically goes into how me and my business partner went through a lot to make this film itself. So it's like it's all connected from my original film project back in the day. So now it's 3 years later. Now the project finally makes sense since we turned to actual film. It's going a lot smoother. It just takes a lot of time to do all this. I do all the editing myself. I do the writing. I do the directing, and I'm producing myself. So it's a lot to handle.
And you learned all of that while studying in New York?
Not all that there. Some of it was a lot of, like the editing I learned all on my own. I didn't go to school for that. More or less the production and some minor directing in the Film Academy. But more or less that was for producing.
What brought you back to New England?
Well, I went out there for school temporarily. I was always from Rhode Island.
So you went to New York specifically for that? You had no intention of staying there?
Correct.
Okay. Do you tend to write your own scripts?
Originally, I hired a couple different writers, and basically between other projects they were committed to, I had certain deadlines I wanted to have this done by, and ended up being me, writing myself, which was the best way. So now the writing's like my exact vision, so especially when I do the editing, it's going to match exactly what I'm trying to deliver.
So in a way, it's easier?
Right. I basically became a writer when I couldn't keep relying on people, so I just sat there and like, all right, I'm going to figure this out. I learned a program. I basically started writing, and it all started like coming clear to me. It made a lot of sense.
Do you use a specific program for script writing?
I use Final Draft.
Okay, that's pretty advanced.
Yeah.
And how did you learn that? How do you learn how to use that program? Did you use it? Did you just like?
I started playing around with it for a couple hours, then within 2 days I mastered it.
That's pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
What about, do you have a specific genre of film that you prefer doing?
If I'm acting, I do like action. As far as just being a thriller, more or less like a horror movie, that's not really my favorite type of movie, but I felt like this is the right way to go with this project to get a different type of fan base. But normally myself, I'm acting, I like to do action. I was in Killing Khan. That was a short. We filmed that over the summer. I think it's being released sometime soon, next couple months. The director, J.R. Hepburn, he's working on a movie, Blue Suede, right now. I did that over the summer. I did a Bet's a Bet. That was a comedy movie. That was through Woodhaven Films over the summer as well.
Now, were you in Killing Kong as a producer or as an actor?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the main difference between acting and directing?
I'm about to find out on Monday. Because especially when I'm in the scenes, it's going to be hard to basically, it's going to take a lot longer than normally. Because I'll have to stop the scenes, watch it, rather than just directing it. I have to actually go into the scene, come back and make sure it looks, so rather than spend like so many hours on the film, it will take like a lot more hours, especially the scenes that I'm in. Have
you been ever solely behind the camera?
I've been behind the camera because we started like filming the movie originally in October, but we didn't like the direction. We just want to do a fresh start. So I did pretty much all the directing for 3 days, which were 12-hour shoots each day.
Great. What about, do you prefer to make an audience think or feel?
Think.
Think?
I want to confuse the audience so they watch the movie.
So that's why you like thrillers?
Correct.
Yeah.
I guess you'd say that.
Do you tend to reveal yourself through your films, or do you prefer to keep your own life experience out of your work? Because a lot of people are kind of like very private about that stuff, so they don't like showing any private life events and involved in their acting or any filmmaking.
With this specific film, actually, it's very related to my personal life, or it's when I go into the Christian character, I'd say it's all my alter ego. In the film, it's like I can basically be something I'm not in real life, where it's more of a darker side of me, where it's that character can be the bad guy, the people that the audience would love to hate and get away with it, but it still entertains the audience. A lot of in the script, a lot of these events are kind of like based on things that have happened. Not like it's you guys will see.
Yeah, well, you can't give us too many spoilers, right? We're going to have to wait till 2015.
Correct.
What about, tell us your approach to cinematography.
Basically, it really depends on the vision. I'd say it's like, it has to be a certain, like, cinematography, it's about the angles with me. Like, I want to do the same scene if I have to shoot it 38 times in 10 different angles each way. I want to make sure we have every angle aspect covered. Like, that's the main thing. I wouldn't want just like Seinfeld, for example. I mean, this is years ago, but it was like one way. I want multiple angles. Bird's eye, rear view, close-ups, side shots, everything.
So that's harder to do.
It takes more time, but it'll make the film I think, a lot stronger, a lot different.
Do you think, how does that change from doing a horror film to doing action? Would that be different in making a horror film from making an action film?
We have action. It's a mixture of, there's some action. It's not, it's not actually considered an action film, but there's a lot of action scenes that happen in this movie between the Harvey character and Christian, and some stunts that'll be done. So I wouldn't say it's like too much mixing up, like, or just something really separate, because I feel like we're doing both in this film.
What about if you were to explain it to a non-film person?
Right.
What is the importance of cinematography? Because a lot of us don't know, if we're not behind the camera, we usually don't know much about it.
I say the vision. Really delivering something that catches somebody's eyes, like more or less creating art into the vision of the cinematography. One thing we're going to use a lot, and this is colors, different colors in different scenes, rather than just like basically use a lot of different, like, whether it could be red, whether it could be a darker, like gray, or it's going to like really go from a lot of different color angles into the vision, which will make it unique.
What about when you're casting a film? What are you looking for when you're auditioning actors? What do you look for?
This particular film, I originally found my cast in October. They were loyal to me and everything like that. And before we did a lot of improv the first couple days we were shooting. There was really no script. It was pretty much all improv. Then once I actually found this cast and we became like a family, I started basically writing these characters on them. I basically designed these characters to fit their own personalities once I get to know them originally. So it's like, with this particular project, these characters are all linked to like their uniqueness. Like whatever I found in them when I first met them and when we shot those few days, I really got to work with them and see how they're actually, the personalities are. So I feel that made the movie a lot stronger, because now each character is like more or less their own unique individual, rather than just here's a script and I want you to fit this part. I feel
so you rewrite stuff for the actors?
Originally, like, we were doing a lot of improv between the original writers. We didn't have enough script to actually go through with the film. So I just started rewriting it myself in recent times. So I was able to, with this particular situation, give the cast members that we had originally unique roles. And they've been acting classes, everything like that. And they really they'll be very comfortable. It's kind of like a piece of them inside the character.
What about you as an actor, how do you feel about directing actors in a film? Like, do you feel like you have an advantage in a way because you have the experience of being behind the camera?
I do. I think that's a big benefit too. Then the main thing is really delivering the emotion of the character. Like, the emotion's the biggest thing too, because you want the audience to believe it. So that's one. I mean, like I said, I don't care how long it takes. I just want to make sure the movie's not perfect. And if we had to do 100 takes in one day, I would do it just to make sure every aspect of the movie comes out perfect.
So no rush when it comes to
rush.
that.
That was my original plan, is to like rush. And I realized I had to slow down, take 10 steps back, and just go right back to pre-production, not filming.
What about, do you have experience being a cameraman?
I usually don't work the cameras. I know how to do that, but I usually would, hire a camera crew, and I would do all the editing. As far as whether it's a trailer to a film, my past fashion show events, I handle the editing, but I usually try to stay away from actually working the cameras.
And can you tell us what are the biggest challenges as far as producing goes?
Find the funding. That's the biggest thing. Right now, the budgets all come out of my own pocket. We don't really have too many sponsors. So I'm basically funding the whole movie myself with my partner, Mickey. We put all our own money into this just to make it happen, between catering, helping with travel expenses, bringing the named actors. That's all, like, pretty much we're the ones doing it right now. We don't have too many sponsors yet. That's the toughest thing.
And as far as acting goes, do you use any specific technique?
With my character, or?
In general, like, do you follow a specific type of training? Do you kind of go with your gut?
I say it's kind of with the gut. With my character, it's like once the camera goes on, it's all, I don't know, just like the character takes over me. It's natural. It just comes out. Especially like, for example, with my scenes, I know exactly what I'm looking for. Like, I know the lines. I know exactly, like, since I wrote it, I know exactly what I'm looking for as I'm directing it. I know, like, with my character, like, it comes out a lot more natural. It's just, I'm just nervous about basically doing all this at once. So I just know it's going to take a lot longer for the scenes that I'm in.
Do you support your career in filmmaking and acting through another type of job in another field?
Well, the main thing I do, like I said, is event production, and I produce fashion shows. That was my main, that's my main job, if you want to call it that, besides the video editing.
Do you still do that?
I'm going to be doing one more show in summer. Normally, I produce a fashion show every other month, but with the film, I don't have the time for it right now, because it takes about 2 months to put a good show together, to make sure it's sold out, to make sure you have the crowd, to make sure you have the sponsors involved, everything like that. So right now, I'm just focusing on the film and taking a break from that, just so I can give all my energy to one thing. And then once this movie slows down towards the end of the summer, I'll do my Money in the Bank model search, which I do every year.
Have you ever thought of venturing into commercial work?
Not too much this time. I started off as a model industry in 2006. I did a lot of commercial work back then for modeling before I got into all this.
What is the main difference between both industries, the commercial and the filmmaking?
Filmmaking is a lot harder. It's a lot of work.
What about the budget side of it? Do you think it's harder to find a budget to produce a film?
Well, for example, when I started doing films and started acting, I thought it was all very simple. Then, like, as putting the product together, and I realized, all right, it's almost like sometimes it could be a struggle to make the movie happen. You have to sacrifice a lot. You have to basically give it all your time. Like, I wouldn't be able to work a 9-to-5 job right now with this film. The editing alone takes me about 8 hours a day if I want to make the scene right, just for about maybe a 5-minute scene, just to make sure it's mastered. And I'm probably still not happy with the next day, and I'm like, all right, I'll restart it.
You have to have a lot of patience for that, right?
Yeah. With the writing, I'm about to get 10 pages a day, where it comes out smooth, and like after 10 pages, it's too much in one day, so I stop at that point, so it doesn't get too cluttered or too.
To like kind of like give it a refresher and start over.
Right.
What are your favorite directors in the New England area?
I'd say I don't really have too many favorite directors in New England there.
What about the broad spectrum? Like we just watched the Oscars happen.
Yeah, actually, I'd say like Martin Scorsese. But brings some films down here, but he's pretty much one of my favorites. Well, that's pretty much one of my favorite directors right now.
Great. Well, you said that you brought us a little bit of your project, 15 Minutes to Watch.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit more about it and introduce it for us?
There's 2 clips. One clip is the actual inside look to the film from all the footage we shot. We originally started filming the movie back in October before we revised it, which still shows the same direction of the film. It's about, I think, 5 minutes long. It's not a trailer, it's an inside look. It's too long to be a trailer. And then the other is a basically inside look to the reality show / documentary I'm releasing for free on YouTube to go along with the project to get more people involved with it, to show the actual what it's like to make a film and like the ups and downs, the true story about how me and my partner really have a lot of real life problems to making this, so we don't get along. So I figured that, and then like it's cast more involved. They get to show personal lives, behind the scenes footage, everything like that. So it's like 2 different things. It's 2 different demographics.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming by.
No problem. It was nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you and having you. So let's watch 15 Minutes.
I'm Mickey. I'm here to make a movie. up in this place, you'll see that Christian is the person that I say he is. Now, Christian, tell him how it is. Look at every screen.
Stop. Now make that motherfucker hammer sound like. Now make that motherfucker hammer sound like. Now make that motherfucker hammer sound like.
Actually, let him be in the show. He wants to compete tonight.
Probably wondering why you guys are here. To relive the past of what Christian has put us through. All the pain, all the agony, the betrayal. God! Family. Stand. The added darkness that Christian has brought upon us, involving the weak. Lucifer. You think he'll come to your rescue? He'll give you that, oh my God, I'm free?
That's not innocent woman, honey.
I'm gonna beat you down like a dog. It's coming together. Finally.
And you will see, it's not gonna be a pretty picture for you. Need a chance? That freedom? Please, understand. Open your heart. Oh, that's just a little taste.
That ain't shit.
But why we're here? It's Christian and his actions. We gonna leave us here. Freedom will be earned, not given.
Going somewhere?
From Christian's wrongdoings. I don't know Christian. Over and over and over. He's done nothing but wrong things. One day, you'll see my vision of redemption. Buongiorno, potente, Lucifer.
Thanks for watching Short Film Showcase. We will see you on our next show.